Gonna give it a couple of seconds here. Let's see. Can you hear me okay? Been messing around with the audio here a little bit, so let's see if it works. Can you hear me okay now? Oh, that might be a little bit high. I think that's good. All right, so how is everybody? Welcome to another Monday morning live stream. Super excited to be here with you today, so let's get going. All right, so today we're talking about real estate leads for YouTube and how to actually get those darn things get those things for free. Oh, we already got a thumbs down. I guess before even listening to the message. That's great. Cool. So let's just make sure that this is working. All right, so how is everybody this Monday morning? I'm gonna make sure that this is over on YouTube as well. So I'm sorry, on Facebook. So as you're coming in, let me know in the comments section where you're coming from, where you're listening from, so I can get a good sense of who we're speaking with today. All right, so giving it a couple of seconds for the notifications to go out. All righty. Boom, boom, boom. Let's make sure that we are working here. All right, there's a notification. All right. All right, so today we're talking about YouTube and how to actually get real estate leads with YouTube. So we're gonna get going here in about 2 seconds. It looks like the audio is working, looks like everything else is up and running. So let's get started. A lot of you have been trying to get into YouTube for quite a while now, and it can get a little bit frustrating, a little bit overwhelming, not knowing where to start, not understanding how YouTube works. And there's different elements that make YouTube a complicated, maybe I shouldn't say complicated, a more complex platform to get started with. With Facebook, many of you are already accustomed to posting, many of you are accustomed to doing X, Y, and Z, so Facebook isn't all that difficult for you. Same thing with Twitter, sometimes with Instagram, so that's not all that difficult for you. But when it comes to YouTube, we're used to being observers, we're used to watching the content, but the moment that we go to the other side of the equation and actually become content creators, that becomes a little bit problematic. So that is a challenging item that we sometimes overlook. So with that being said, as we get going, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section down below. So I'd love to make sure that I address any and all questions that come through. So make sure that the questions are being dropped below. And also, well, actually, that was it. So we're here every 9 a.m. on Mondays, and I am experimenting with 9 a.m. live streams on Fridays as well, so make sure to stay tuned for that. All right, so as we get going, the very important thing that you want to understand about getting real estate leads on YouTube is you need to look at what is being searched. So this is a great starting point if you've never done a YouTube video in the past, or if you've already been doing some YouTube videos but aren't seeing the traction that you want. It's important to understand that you are looking for what's actively being searched. Now, the reason being is because you're guaranteeing yourself an audience. This way, you're giving yourself an opportunity to address questions that are being asked. It makes no sense for you to go off of information, or go off and make a video off of information that is not being asked. So if you're making a video that nobody is asking for, then that's a bit problematic because nobody's going to watch it. However, if you make a video that people are actually searching for, that are actively looking for solutions to, then you become somebody that is providing something of value to the marketplace, and that's how you're ensuring some views. So I'll give you one example. One of the big things that happened with Facebook here recently was that they switched the interface altogether, and the Facebook pixel was hidden. There's only one place that anybody could find it, and it took me personally a little bit over an hour to actually find where that pixel was at. So I saw that was a need, and I saw that people were searching for that based off of the keyword research that I did, but there was no video addressing the topic. So I made a video about the topic, and right now I think it has over 10,000 views in just a little bit over It's been several weeks now. It might have been a couple of months. So it's performing incredibly well right now. So when it comes to doing some keyword research, some places that you can go are TubeBuddy. So TubeBuddy is a extension that you can attach to your YouTube channel so it can do some research for you. You could use Google Trends. That's a Google product that gives you a trend in a macro style of what's being searched for in the United States, in a certain state, in a certain region. So it gives you a good understanding of what's being searched. YouTube itself is a great is a great place to research, because when you're typing something in on YouTube in your search, you notice that the autofill and the autocomplete takes over. So if you type in how to do and then just leave it at that, there's going to be some autocompletes that go through, so you get to understand what is being searched at the particular time. Another platform that I like using for identifying what's trending is Keywords Everywhere. Keywords Everywhere is a low-cost extension that you can use in your research to find what is actively being searched for, whether that's over on YouTube, whether that's over. Oh, sorry, I was looking here at the comment sections. Good morning, Jaime. Thanks for your content. Really value it. Like the new backdrop too. Cool, thanks. I appreciate that. So let me move. Good morning. Let me get rid of that right there. Check this out. Playing around with some cool tools right now. Isn't that neat? Anyway, so hey, and thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate that. So those are let's get back on track. So those are some tools that you can absolutely use in your research. So it's something that is very valuable. Now, if you're looking for some tried and tested traffic or tried and tested topics in your particular industry, the best places to go are going to be Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Redfin.com, those big industry websites that a lot of people flock to. Those are great places to get topic ideas, to go and see what Zillow is talking about, go and see what Trulia is talking about, which is owned by Zillow. But going to those blog sections or video sections to see the content that they're making. Now, the reason that is so powerful is because Zillow and those big companies like that, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on writers alone. So they are already paying these people high dollars to come up with this content. So it tells you that these professional writers, these professional bloggers and content creators, they see enough value in covering that specific topic. So why wouldn't we as creators do the same thing? So that's a great place to start. And also another great place to go to get some ideas of what's a proven audience at that point is going to your competitors. So going over to a realtor in another city or in your own city, if there's a big creator in that particular space, and see what videos have actually broken through the algorithm and are getting views right now. For a while now, the housing market crash videos were doing incredibly well. So those are types of videos that you can make. So that's making sense. What content is being searched? That's the number one thing that you need to understand, because that's a great way to start with your content, because it's actively searching for you're actively having people search for that. So it's a great thing for you to get into the conversation. So that's really step one. Now, once you find what's being searched for, what is actively being sought out, then what you need to do is actually create valuable content. Now, when I say valuable content, I mean content that you yourself would want to consume. So putting things on paper or putting things on video just for the sake of putting them on paper or video isn't going to work. You want to provide content that is valuable to your viewers. So if you're offering to answer the question of what your opinion is when it comes to the real estate market next year, then make sure that you formulate a good opinion, or an opinion nonetheless. It doesn't have to be good, but you do want to at least provide some value to your viewers, because that's going to keep people coming back to you. That's going to keep people engaged with you, your brand, and what you have going on. So doing that is a very key, very valuable piece to your content creation. Now, if you are struggling with getting some things on paper, you're struggling to get some things on video, then a great thing for you to do or consider would be outsourcing some of that. So you could outsource the entire script writing to somebody else that is a little bit more formed in that particular industry. There's plenty of content writers out there that are willing to help you out. You can go to different websites like onlinejobs.ph. You can go to Fiverr, believe it or not. You can go to Upwork. You can go to Freelancer. You can go to all these websites that provide individual content creators, freelancers, that will actually write out your script, that will write out the content that you're trying to cover. So if there's that little bit of apprehension on, well, I don't necessarily know how to write it, what to write, and all this stuff, well, you can hire a professional to do that for you. And then when you get that script back or get the article back, all you have to do is get a little app that is a teleprompter app, and then place it right here, right below the camera, and start reading what's on there. So you don't have to freestyle it like I'm doing right now. You don't have to do any of that. So there's so many different ways to involve other people that are professionals, that are experts in their particular field, to where you don't have to carry the entire load yourself. So that is a way to provide valuable content without you actually having to do all of it. And that's a great it's a great resource for a lot of people that either don't have time, don't necessarily know how to get started with that particular making a video. So that's a great place to start. So that is step number 2. So again, number 1 is research what it's actually being searched. So once you have an idea of what's being searched, what's being sought after, then we're making the valuable content. We make sure that it's valuable to the best of your abilities. And now the next part is really where we, myself included, where we fall flat a majority of the time. We fail to present an offer. And this is actually the key. This is the key and the difference between you putting out hundreds and hundreds of videos and getting 0 leads for it. And this happens all the time. This happens all the time with the folks that I work with personally, not only from a consulting side, from a agency side, from the EXP side, so the agents that I partner with at EXP. Every time we go through this exercise on, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years now. I've been doing YouTube for 2 months now. I've put out 100 videos. I've put out 5 videos. It always, maybe I shouldn't say always, 99% of the time, this is where we miss it. We fail to present an offer. We fail to present an offer that somebody, the viewer, like you, feel like PBS. Was that? Yeah, that was PBS, right? Supported by viewers like you. Anyway, the viewer is not being given the opportunity to take the offer that the creator is giving them. So just giving you an example. Some of the offers that I make in my channel has to do with, I offer you free ad copies. So I show you some results of what's working, and then I offer you the ad copy. You don't have to take me up on it. Some of you do, some of you don't, doesn't matter, right? So that's an offer that I make. I provide offers like a content calendar. So I give you the entire content calendar that the agents that I work with personally use, and some of you take me up on that offer, some of you don't. So that's me making offers to you. Now, again, a majority of you will not take them, and a majority of your audience will not. However, you just need a few to come in so you can start adding them to your database. So that is something, that's an example of that happening. Now, when it comes to real estate leads, this is the offer becomes very important. You can make some weak offers. I'll give you some example of weak offers. And that's simply saying, hey, reach out to me for your next real estate need. Believe it or not, a lot of people consider that as an offer instead of a promo. So people see that as an offer, and that is just not right. When it comes to making an offer, make it something that somebody has an instant win. So the moment that they have access to it, they feel like they've won. They feel like they've already solved the issue that they were trying to get solved, and then also make it something that actually has perceived value. So you can make an offer like download my mortgage calculator. That is an offer. Download my moving checklist. So the entire checklist on moving, what you need to knock out whenever you're moving. Let's see what else. You could do a relocation cheat sheet. So very much the same thing. It's just a different word. Instead of moving, you use relocation. So it depends on the niche that you're looking for. Another example would be a top 5 list. So a list of the top 5 restaurants, a list of the top 5 parks in the area that you're making the video about. It's those types of offers that you can certainly make. Hey Jaime, so here's a question right here. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down below. Hi Jaime, if you offer ideas for real estate, I hear that often using a funnel. So yeah, you're right. So I was going through some ideas. So this comment came a little bit before I started on the ideas. Using a funnel, we'll talk about using a funnel specifically for buyer or seller. So we were covering those right off the bat. So that's awesome that we already got to those. So thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much for being here. When it comes to the offers and then the talk about the funnel, you can present your offer and deliver it however you want. So what Diana was alluding to with the funnels, that's a buzzword a lot. So she absolutely got that right. It's a big buzzword right now. You hear that often, use funnels. Funnels is nothing more than a simple typically it's a one-sheeter or a one-pager website. That's essentially it. It's a way to capture somebody's information. But going back for a quick second, making the offer is the important part. So what are you offering that's incentivizing people to give you their contact information? And then it becomes a matter of how do you collect the information, how do you deliver the offer that you made? So how you collect the contact information, you could make a funnel, you can make a landing page as was being alluded to by Diana, or you can ask people to email you. That's another way to do it, so where you don't even have to create a landing page. So that is a strategy that you can deploy. Now, if you want it to be long lasting and if you want it to be as automated as possible, then yes, go ahead and make a single page or a single opt-in so people can give you their contact information, and then you automate whatever it is that you're delivering. So you can deliver a PDF, you could deliver a zip form, whatever it is that you're offering. You can deliver a video, you can deliver a portal access to whatever it is that you're offering. So there's so many different ways that you can deliver your offer. It just comes down to, what is my offer? How am I going to collect the information, and how am I going to actually deliver that offer? And it's these types of conversations that are very fruitful, because oftentimes we find ourselves not even making that offer, because that's a big way to not get much traction with your YouTube videos. Now, I'll admit, I did this for the longest time. I absolutely failed in my other channel. So I have 2 channels, one for real estate agents and the marketing side, and then the other one is for buyers and sellers. I have a lot of videos in that other channel that I never made an offer in. I was just providing the information, but I never made an offer, and that was a big mistake by me. And that's something, I mean, I haven't uploaded a video there in over a year, but it's something that it's something to be aware of. So it's important to know that now, so you can make an offer and you'll actually start generating some leads. So that's going to be the difference between you making videos and getting leads versus not. Is this making sense? Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. A huge help to get the notifications going out would be smashing like on your way in. That would be fantastic. So I really do appreciate that. And then also, again, make sure that you have any questions as you come in. Ask the questions down below. I'll get to them. It looks like the chat feature is working today, so I'm really excited about that. Now let's switch gears for a quick second and go to how to make the videos, because that's a big question that comes up. All right, Jaime, I understand a little bit of how to search for what's being asked. I have an idea on how to make the content at this point. I could present an offer, but really I have a hard time getting from the idea phase to actually having a video uploaded to my YouTube channel. So that's what we want to cover today. I'm going to give you the simple formula to create your videos, and it's an acronym, so it's Boss Red, and you're seeing it on the screen right now. Boss Red, B-O-S-R-E-D. So Boss Red, let me do one quick thing real quick. So Boss Red is the acronym that I came up with to describe the video creation process. So B, that stands for brainstorming. O stands for optimizing, S stands for scripting, R stands for recording, E stands for editing, and D stands for distribution. So boss red. So brainstorming, optimizing, scripting, recording, editing, and distributing. So we're going to go into those very, very quickly. So brainstorming, this is where you come up with some ideas. This is where you either you carve out some time throughout your week to do some brainstorming. This is going to be the funnest part, in all honesty. The sky's the limit. You're grabbing different ideas. So you're just brainstorming, dumping as much content as you possibly can on your sheet. If you're using an Excel sheet, if you're using Evernote, or you're using a piece of paper, doesn't matter. You're just brainstorming. This is the fun part. Once you have the brainstorming done, then you move those ideas into optimizing. And this is a little bit more technical. Optimizing means getting your titles right. Start thinking about your thumbnail. Start thinking about what keywords you want to rank for, because keep in mind, we just talked about searching for what's being, trying to seek out what's actually being searched. Now in the optimizing phase, we're trying to optimize for the title. So when somebody goes to YouTube and searches for the particular topic that we're covering in the video, your video has a good chance of showing up. And I have another live stream. This is several weeks back. So after we get through here, I'll try to link it up here and showing you where how to actually rank those videos. So it's a step-by-step process that I share with you as well. Now, when you're doing that optimizing, what you're thinking about now, again, is your thumbnails. You're thinking about the title. So you're thinking about how it's going to rank in the search, so how it's going to come up in YouTube, and you're trying to maximize that so your video can actually be found whenever somebody searches for a particular keyword. So that's what you're doing by optimizing. Then you move on to S, which is scripting. Scripting can be a full-out written-out script, or it could be a bullet point process. For me, I use a bullet point process where I put, hey, I want to cover this type of information. I want to say a little bit about this, a little bit about this, a little bit about this, and then boom, that's it. So I just have some bullet points. So whenever I'm making a video very similar to this is the exact setup that I actually have. I look over here to my Evernote. I see that I want to cover Facebook ads and the importance of a Facebook pixel. Then I would look over here and then I'll start recording about the importance of a Facebook pixel. The Facebook pixel allows you to retarget the audience at blah, 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 right? So that's how you go about doing that. But you can do the entire thing and write it all out. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's up to you. So I gave you the example of scripting everything out via an outsource. So outsourcing that, getting a teleprompter for one, but also getting an app that will out to you or will show up so you can just put it here and you're reading. That's another way of doing it. So that's scripting. Now, when you get to recording, this is, again, the setup that I have. You can do recording like I do, which is talking head videos, or you can go out on location, which is out in the community or out doing a property tour or out doing a restaurant interview with a business owner. Whatever it happens to be, that is when you're recording. So make sure that you have plenty of batteries, make sure that you have plenty of storage space, make sure that you have some good lighting, if you will. At this point, I have to have I have to make a huge shout out to Renzo Gavino. He absolutely crushed it with this lighting. So thank you so much. He is awesome. So he helped me out. If you noticed last week, this is an entire mess back here. It was just blue and I was looking blue. And as you can see, if I can make it, I'm not saying that this is making it, but I'm saying this is way better than where I was last week. So just making sure that you reach out to the appropriate professionals that can help you out in getting your product out a little bit better. So with recording, make sure that you get as much of your lighting right as possible, as much as your video right as possible, as much of your audio as possible. It's not going to be perfect at the beginning. It never is. Just continue improving. Editing. This is something that I've outsourced fully at this point. So my editor does all of my editing for all the videos that I make at this point, except the live ones, because this is done real time. Editing is something that is going to take a good amount of time on your end because you're most critical of yourself. I'm assuming, if you are anything like me, but editing is really where you have to be a little bit tedious. This is when you're talking about looking for the right music. This is where you're talking about looking for that right angle. This is where you're talking about getting the color correction right. So there's so many different avenues that you can take. Now here, I have to give another shout out real quick. So Trevor Jones creator. He actually specializes in real estate agents, helping them with video. So that's what he does. He's a former Hollywood editor turned realtor. He's amazing at that stuff. So I'll link his information down below. He's been on the channel in the past where he's given a lot of information on how to do video right. And I've learned a lot of these elements that I'm sharing with you today. I learned from him. And he's just become a really good friend of the channel. He's become a really good friend of mine where he'll help me out whenever I need any video, audio, anything that has to do with video. So he's really awesome. So he's a great channel to follow. Amazing content. So editing is super important. Now, when you get to distribution, you can distribute your video any platform that you want. You could do Vimeo, you can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, you can do LinkedIn as long as it's less than 10 minutes, and you can certainly do YouTube. That's what we're talking about today. So YouTube is a powerful platform that is going to continue gaining views. So the moment that you upload it to YouTube, boom, it's done. It's going to continue getting views, assuming that you did all of the steps that we just went through correctly. Now notice that this is a process. Making it a process is going to make your life so much easier. Making this an entire broken down process will allow you to get more videos out, will allow you to take less time with that, and at the end of the day, will avoid some burnout because it's very common here in the YouTube space. So is this making sense? Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, as a reminder, make sure that you're dropping in any questions that you might have. I'd love to address any that come up. It doesn't have to necessarily be about this particular topic. If it's more about YouTube in general, video in general, editing, whatever it happens to be, I'm more than happy to help out in any way that I can. So make sure that you're dropping them down below. So that's the recording. That's the recording process. So I like to operate in a batch system to where I break every single one of these and break these down into segments, and I have it on my Trello board. You can't see this right now, but it's actually on my Trello board, giving you a breakdown of what it looks like. So I have the videos that I'm gonna make in brainstorming, then I go to optimizing, scripting, recording, editing, and distributing. So that's how I break it down. All right, so moving on now. Now they have an idea of how to get started with your videos. It becomes a question of, well, what type of videos do I make? I understand that we talked about how to find videos, how to find out what's actually being searched, and all that fun information. However, what becomes a big challenge is still that resistance to get started, right? It's that first video that becomes the most difficult one. It's that first step that becomes the most difficult one. But once you get going, the momentum builds. So I want to help you gain some momentum. I want to help you buy into the process of getting on YouTube and really working this to your advantage. Because once you get this ball rolling, there is no stopping it. It's going to continue building momentum, and you're going to find you got 1 lead in 1 month. Great. You're going to find next month you got 3 leads. You're going to find that next month you got 10 leads. You're going to find next month you got 50 leads. And it just becomes such a rewarding process. Now, I'm at the point where I don't necessarily have to make too many videos, even though I'm doing a video per day, but I am consistently getting a lot of opt-ins for my marketing channel. So I'm getting a lot of people reaching out, either directly opting into the offers that I'm making, reaching out directly to me to either do some sort of collaboration, some sort of sponsorship, some sort of working together in some capacity. So it's fun at this point. But anyway, so get that momentum going. The videos that I want to encourage you to make are what I call workflow videos. Workflow videos are those videos that are going to help you in your workflow, those videos that cover part of your workflow. So I'll give you an example. Whenever you go into contract with an individual, chances are you scare them into submission. So if it's a buyer, you're advising them or scaring them or motivating them not to open up another line of credit. You're advising them, hey, maybe we shouldn't buy a car right now because you're about to buy a house. So you are advising them, that's a better word, instead of scaring, you're advising them on what to do next, right? So you have that conversation the moment that you have your first appointment with them, but you certainly have that conversation with them the moment that you enter into contract. So it's, hey, congratulations, we got the offer accepted. I'm super excited. Let's get our inspector out there, but also make sure that you're not out there opening another line of credit, that you're not out there messing this deal up for both of us. So that is a conversation that we have. I mean, you know you're having that. If you're not, then a few deals might have created because you'd have that conversation. But these workflow videos, these are a great opportunity for you to actually record the message. Now, this is a great opportunity for you to create a video that covers what to do when you're in contract, or you want to title it something a little bit different. Now that you're in contract, what's next? So doing these types of videos, not only can you put them on YouTube, but it gives a great resource, or it creates a great resource for you to share with your clients. So in that video, then you would advise them on what not to do now that they're in contract. You would advise them on what the next steps are, which is reaching out to the inspector and getting an inspector in there as quickly as possible. So you're walking them through that process, right? And then you can make another video right before you get close to the to closing. Hey, we're 10 days from closing. Here's what we absolutely need to get done. So make these workflow videos, break out your process of, hey, this is typically when I reach out to my buyer. This is typically when I reach out to my seller. This is typically what I share with them. So break out your entire process, document it via video, and then send it out to your clients. You're gonna find how impressive it is for your clients to receive a video outside of a email. They're expecting an email, and many of them are expecting a call. But at the end of the day, if you do all of that, you can still do it. You can still send an email. You can still make the call, but you can have that reinforcement with the video. So those clients that are working with you already are actually gaining or giving you more views, and this video happens to be churning out some more views over on YouTube. So in a way, you're creating some viewership by clients that are already working with you, but it's also over here on YouTube world getting some views for you, and it establishes authority. I mean, there's so many different benefits to creating workflow videos. So here's where I get to the offer. If you're interested in the workflow videos that I encourage every real estate agent that I work with to make, whether it's an agent that I work with from a consulting side, whether it's an agent that I work with from the agency side, from the eXp Realty side, these are the same workflow videos that I share with them. So if you're interested in that list of workflow videos, then just comment down below workflow and then email me. Just email me at Jaime@JaimeResendiz.com. So JAIME@JAIMERESENDIZ. So that I don't think I put my email somewhere around here. So yeah, workflow videos. That's really where that's really what you want to work on as you get started. If you're just getting started. So let me replace this workflow video with my email. So just type in workflow, type that in down below, and then email me here, and I'll send you the list of workflow videos that all of the agents that I work with are working on right now. So it's a fantastic way to get into the video making process, get the reps in, get the value of offloading some of the items that you're presently doing in the form of video, so you can share that with your clients, so you don't have to have the conversation with them more than once. They have that video as a resource. And then also it's a great way to start getting into the YouTube habit. So there's no losing. There's really no losing with these workflow videos, because one of the things that really demoralizes people is, this just isn't working. I've made all these videos and nobody's coming. Well, with these workflow videos, it's not necessarily designed to do that. It's designed to help you out with your workflow, designed to help you improve your customer service, and it's helping you get the reps in when it comes to video creation. So that's really what it's about. All right, so Boss Red, let's go back over here. So check this out. Isn't this pretty cool? So the video broadcaster that I'm using right now is called Ecamm. So I'll link it down below so you can check it out. But it allows me to do this. So this is actually a part of it that when it comes to once you get a little bit more comfortable with going live, this is something that you can do. So I missed a comment altogether. Boss Red, process is helpful. Thanks. Awesome. Facebook user. Unfortunately, this doesn't bring over the names of the users. So my apologies on that. I believe it's probably because my group, which is linked down below, is private. So workflow. I'll make sure that I go over to YouTube, Facebook, and get you that list. All right, folks. Well, hey, this one was a shorter one. I wanted to get you out of here on time, and this type of content I could talk about all day, but we don't have all day. So I want to make sure that you get going on this this YouTube. I was about to say trend, but it's really not a trend. YouTube is here to stay. If you've leveraged it in 2020, I hope that you are seeing some results from it already. If you're leveraging it for 2021 and saving it until there, it is time to get started. Actually, don't even wait for 2021. It's time to get going on YouTube video, because it's a great way for you to get a ton of leads passively. It's a great way to reach a ton of people. So 2 billion active monthly users. It's just a phenomenal platform. Outside of that, thank you so much for being here. We're here on Mondays at 9 a.m. Central. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out. I'll see you next week. Bye.